Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if issei trained by Taninn early and become Sekiryuutei part 1. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the NOSFERATU 869 for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. Let's start this video. My name is issei. I am currently 17 years old and a second year student of Kuo Academy. I am 170 centimeters tall and weigh 62 kilograms. Over the past few months, my life has taken drastic changes. I got a girlfriend. She killed me, then I got revived. As a devil under a beautiful crimson-haired senpai. That's not as bad as it sounds. Anyway, you get the point. A lot has happened. But let's just jump back to now. Speaking of currently, I am currently screaming at the top of my lungs while riding through the wind in the hand of a massive dragon. I can explain. So, some backstory. It is currently our summer break at my school. Which means vacation. Right. No. Unfortunately for me, there is no such blessing that would grace me by giving me a vacation full of bickiness and fun. Probably, because I'm a devil. Then again, the masks don't seem to be helping me either, so there's that. More importantly, the reason I'm here. It turns out we are spending our vacation here in the underworld. To train. Sigh. I can only shed tears at this fact. My fun-filled summer with Mitsuda and Motohama is no longer a possibility. Let alone one with bickiness. Well, at least I got to see everyone in the open baths. Thanks to Azazel sensei, speaking of which, it's his fault this is all happening in the first place. He's the one who handed us all of our training regiments and called this monster here to kill me. And I thought maybe I could get some leniency, but no. I have now been kidnapped by a massive purple dragon and am being carried away towards a mountain for 20 days, during which I am expected to unlock the balance breaker by the end of. Talk about brutal and unfair. I blame Sensei. Azazel. Not the sensei. Although I have a feeling I won't be able to call this monster sensei. I mean, come on. This is unreasonable, isn't it? My base is human and I am very weak. That attitude is one that will only hinder you, should you preserve it, partner. Oh, Drake, there you are. How the hell am I supposed to not have this attitude? I seriously can't survive this. I'm weak. I can't go in enthusiastically this way. I don't want to die after all. It is not your enthusiasm I am referring to, partner. It is your attitude itself. Your lack of enthusiasm is understandable at the least. Your attitude towards yourself is the problem. You are too self-destructive and lack confidence. Moreover, your entire personality is weaker than your physical form. Well, duh. I'm weak. Actually weak. It's just the truth. Regardless of whether it is truth or lies, you should not be demoralizing or belittling yourself, especially when it comes to training. If you must start from the bottom, so be it, but you are still the Sekiryuutei. You should be wearing that title with pride and do your best to honor it. Fuck pride and honor. I'm trying to live. I want to get laid. I don't want to die a virgin. I still have to visit Butchu, Asia, and Akeno-san. Well, Asia is I understand well, partner. But if you do not enter such a situation with the belief that you can become stronger, then you will surely not. But. Damn it. I don't know if I can do that. You're the Sekiryuutei, are you not? Well, yeah, but. You're my host, are you not? Yes, but. Then what is it that is stopping you other than yourself? That's fuck. Ah, you have calmed down, have you? Taninn. Wait, oh, I'm sitting down. We're on the mountain now. Or at least, we are on the part of the mountain that can be stood on. I guess that was happening without me paying attention. Did I mention that this mountain is outrageously big? Well then, seeing as we have arrived, let's get started. What? This monster is now puffing his, and there's smoke coming out of the sides of his mouth. Prepare yourself, young Drake. What's Drake? No wait. 3 days. It's been 3 days. 3 days of running away in fear from a brutal monster. At first, he tested me out physically by shooting fucking fireballs at me. That was nice. After that, he gave me some tasks to complete while fully boosted to test the extent of my strength. He then lightly ridiculed me for not being able to lift a boulder 5 times my size and said that a young Drake, which he has now started to call me, could have lifted it quite easily. I have also been informed by Drake that a young Drake is practically a baby type of dragon. I'll have to ask him about different types of dragons later. I tried telling Taninn that I am not a fucking dragon, but all he says is not yet. And it's very annoying. He believes in you, partner. More than you do yourself. I don't care if he believes in me. He's been trying to kill me for the past 2.5 days. I've been running like a dog. You're the one running. We are telling you to fight. No way. I can't fight back. Every time I try I just end up hurting my fists. The boosted gear may be indestructible, but my arms aren't. Perhaps if you had the will to fight, you would be able to make a difference. As it is now, the only areas you are improving in are your endurance and your physical body on basic terms. And while I admit that is not a bad thing, for it to be the only thing you are doing right is more than concerning. Well, I can't help it. What is it that I'm supposed to do? I'm too weak. It's just as Asen said the other day. If I can't improve myself, then I'm just in the way of Butchu and the others, a hindrance stain on the Grimoire name. That's why I have to get stronger for everyone's sake, so that I can protect them, protect Asia. I can't just not become strong. I have to. Just like everyone else. Or else I will be left behind. Alone. I will fail them. A chill washes down my spine. Certain scenes that haunted me from my past replayed in my head. That's right. If I can't become stronger, I will only be in the way. God, help me. If I don't become stronger. You're there, aren't you? Don't take her. She didn't do anything wrong. I just want to see you smile. If I fail. She just wanted to make friends. Is it because I'm a devil that you won't hear my prayer? Is it because she is friends with a devil that you won't save her? As if a low-class devil could stand up against a phoenix, haha. Please God. Haha. A devil praying to God in a church. How hilariously pathetic. What a true failure. He could not even stand up to the likes of my pawn. What a failure you have raised, Riaz. I caught my breath with violent inhales and exhales. Where? I'm breathing heavily. I can't forget that no matter what, these memories, history will only repeat themselves if I fail. Partner, can you hear me? Yes, I hear you. You were not responding to me. You must have been caught in your thoughts. Something unpleasant I feel. Can't you see it? Most usually. I do my best not to pry. For your sake and mine. Moreover, the thoughts, fears, and feelings derived from your deepest subconscious are much harder to pick up than something like the regular perverted dream of yours. I could not see what you were seeing, but I could very clearly feel what you were feeling. Such emotion cannot be hidden from me. Although I suspect you wish me not to ask. Yeah, just reminders. Whatever haunts you, I know you can overcome it. And I know that if you steel yourself and strengthen your will, you may be able to reach the balance breaker in our short time here. Yeah, maybe. Asia's face flashes through my mind. Her smile. Her eyes. Her hair. Her sleeping face. Her resting face. I'm going to attack. Very well, do not be a reckless partner. Be wary of his movements. His range when considering physical attacks is. I didn't even let Drake finish. I'm running forward before I know it. I was hiding until now, deep in foliage and rocks. I can't let that happen. I have to become stronger. I can't let that happen again. Never again. Oh, you show yourself, young Drake. He noticed before I even fully revealed myself. The second I moved. As expected of a Mayu-class dragon, and yet he acts as if he didn't already know the second I chose this spot. Boost. More. Boost. More. Boost. Partner, you have reached your boost limit. You were already well boosted before. You should not be pushing beyond your physical boundaries during combat. We can focus on increasing your amount of boosts during endurance training. Boost. I can't let it happen. I need more. Partner. At this rate, you will reset soon enough. Boost. I don't care how much it hurts. I don't care what it takes. I have to prevent it. No matter what. I launched myself at Taninn. I can't fly, but I can jump, and I can damn well hit his legs. He's staring me down. Someone who cannot fly should not be launching himself at an enemy who is faster than him, let alone stronger. Unless you have a method of quick retreat, the last thing you should be doing is recklessly advancing. Especially considering the chance of failure in an attempted attack. Or moreover, the guarantee of failure of an attack that you have already performed countless times before. Whack. He whipped his tail at me and sent me back down to the ground. That damned word kept replaying in my head. You were performing better when you were running away. What changed, youngling? Damn it. I got back up. I charge his legs this time. What do you expect to do? This method hasn't proved successful once before. You would be better off with your previous strategy. At this point, it's nothing but blind, reckless attacks. I know. Whack. Again, he smacked me away with his tail. I wasn't even near it. He just quickly turned and used it. He isn't taking me seriously. Neither am I, but even still. I just have to keep going. Why can't I do it? Is it just impossible? Is it my doubt? How do I get rid of it? I'm trying. I want it gone. And still it doesn't leave me. But isn't this my sacred gear? Doesn't it bend to my will? If so, then give it to me. I want a balance breaker. Give it to me. I command you. Please, it's mine, isn't it? Can't I force it out? If I have the will, then why won't it come? Is it my lack of confidence that doesn't make any sense? I want it, so it should give it to me. If I have the will then it should listen to me. It's mine. I need it. All the while thinking this, I'm pointlessly attacking Taninn. Until finally. Whack. Bam bam bam. The light kick of his sends me away rolling on the ground. We will stop here for now. Take a small break. What why now of all times? I can still keep going. Reset. I start coughing blood. Not a large amount, but any amount is unpleasant. No. You cannot. He knew of course he could count to 15. He knows how much I can handle at this point. On. He sits himself down facing away from me. I'm lying on my back. Looking up at the purple sky, it really is beautiful. Awesome. Why? Why can't I? But in all of my pathetic desperation, I asked him, hoping to receive an answer. Maybe I actually know the answer, but I simply don't realize it. Even so, I want someone to answer me. The problem lies within yourself, boy. There is a barrier ahead of you. You must break it. The same way your knight has done it. The barrier, you say that, but I only see the image of myself standing in the way. But I can't. Kiba was never wrong, he just had to accept the truth and he had to let go of his revenge. His friends came to him and reminded him to live. What is it that separates you from him? Everything. We're too different. He's amazing and I'm not. I am just weak in all places. I have to get stronger and that's why I need a balance breaker, but I can't get any stronger and I can't become stronger if I don't get it. I'm stuck. Being stuck is the last step, boy. It is what lets you know that you are close. That you are at the edge. Now you must jump. I might as well if I don't unlock it. I do not understand. Nothing, Asen. It's just a human thing. Perhaps it is the human holding you back. I turned my head to the ground. Now I don't understand. Why was it that you attacked me, boy? I had to. Why? You had not been detected yet. So why not continue hiding? But I can't progress if I don't push forward. Indeed. Yet if you push too far you will progress backwards. If you do not allow your body to catch up to your training, it will only serve to hinder you further. You cannot constantly press your body past its limits abruptly and expect perfect results. You are truly stuck. You are close. Aside from a few small skills, what remains is you. Me? As I thought, the one standing in my way is. I do say. I can't feel confident like this. Confidence? I do not believe that is your only issue, my boy. What do you mean? You think you know what's wrong with me? I do know. I had asked you why you attacked me before. Yay? What was it that motivated you? Motivated? I didn't want to fail. Is that so? The fear of failure is your motivation. Is that right? Dear, I just don't want to fail. Is that so wrong? Indeed. You don't want to fail. That is your motivation. Understandable. However, I don't want to fail is not what will bring you balance breaker. I want to succeed. That is true motivation. What you are feeling is nothing but desperation. I felt something. Taninn's words struck a chord somewhere within me. That's right. If that thing standing in my way is just me, then all I have to do is switch places with it. I just have to replace him, but am I really willing to do such a thing? I see a flash of images. My parents. My friends. Asia. I am afraid. And fear will only freeze my legs or lead them away. Away from them, away from her. If the fear of failure is such a problem, then just don't look at it. Look only towards the possibility of victory. If I can simply not look at the other possibility, if I can simply ignore it, then. Alright. Yes, partner. Today, we're going to unlock the balance breaker. Is that the correct partner? Yeah, probably. Heh. Very well. Looks like Taninn noticed me standing. Good eyes, youngling. A fine expression indeed. How much time do you need for recovery? 2 minutes. And after that? Let's keep going. HMPH. Is that so? In that case, brace yourself, young Drake. There's Ocean's catchphrase. I ran away into the distance. Just because I'm taking a few minutes doesn't mean I won't be readying myself. No more running. No more reckless attacks. From now on, every action is going to be thought out. Strategy. An idiot strategy. If I can't defeat him, I'll sharpen the only skills I have left to sharpen. I'll close the small gap to balance breaker, and the moment I find my chance, I will take it. I do say. Taninn and I continued training throughout the entire day. It was nighttime now. It's hard to tell when the time has changed due to the sky's odd color. Either way, I knew it was nighttime, not only because I know that it has been hours, but because I was trying my best to make estimates on the passage of time in order to improve my mental clock. Another skill that may come in handy, taught to me by Asen, but one I had neglected until now. I checked in with Drake to confirm the amount of time passed. An unbelievably difficult thing considering that during combat sections I would have to devote more of my concentration to tactics like what would be the best areas to attack when I get balance breaker. I noticed that my perception of time would feel drastically warped the more I fought. A whole scuffle would last less than a minute yet felt like 10. Still, that was only half of it. The other half, I focused on improving my stealth skills. I can't be constantly fighting him. In that case, I can try my best not to get found. Taninn is a Mayu class ultimate class level devil and as Azazel sensei said a legendary dragon, which is the coolest fucking thing I've never realized was actually real until a few days ago. There's truly no way I can hide from him. But I can sure as hell try. And at the very least, I can still improve the skill to the point where hopefully most high-class devils or high-level beings will not be able to detect me. I can tell I'm gradually getting better at it. There's never a time where Taninn doesn't know where I'm at, but that doesn't mean he knows my exact location. I can see him look in my general direction every time, but there are many times where I can see him mimic a smirk before attacking and missing by increasing margins. That's the routine. Attack and find any spots that may be weaker than others, scuffle, create a distraction, and hide. The longer this goes on, the more I feel like I can keep going. I've never felt like this. Is this confidence? Somehow I doubt it. It just feels more like a primal urge to continue. I want to keep going. I feel exhausted and yet I can feel a smile. I feel focused, alert, and capable. Like a predator, like a badass. Like I can just keep going forever. The sweat. The pain. The exhaustion. The strain. I'm getting used to it. And maybe even growing to like it. Hopefully it's just the adrenaline. Well, if it's the new issei enjoying it instead. Ho ho. Not bad, youngling. You're directly west of me. Within that area of approximately a 15-meter radius. Hahaha. To believe that it took you a measly 14 hours to obtain such skill. Only a dragon could accomplish such a feat in such a short time. Truly, this generation Sekiryuutei may become a force to be reckoned with. Taninn spouts all of this as he pointed at the area I was in. As I thought, he can find me easily. Man, is it hard to hide from him. I spent at least 12 of those 14 hours learning to properly hide from you. The other 2 were fruitless efforts at attacks and locating weaknesses. But you're still a fucking monster. This is cutting into my sleep time at this point, old man. He is quite right, partner. Your growth exceeds my expectations as well. In terms of pure power, you were the weakest of all wielders, but in terms of potential you may potentially be among the best. That is surely thanks to your compatibility with the boosted gear. Even my strongest wielders took a few days to make similar progress. As he said, for such a skill to be obtained in such a short time is without a doubt thanks to you being part dragon. As well as being trained by one. Part dragon. You mean, because of my arm? Yes and no. You are a wielder of the boosted gear. Your soul is human in nature, if you can refer to souls having a nature at all, that is. However, there will always be parts of you that are influenced by being born a Sekiryuutei. Not to mention, your arm also affects you, as you mentioned. You are a dragon, in principle. Awesome. But I'm definitely going to be scorched. Unfortunately for you, youngling, I can easily destroy such a radius. He says that nonchalantly. And he begins to puff up his if only I could fight that back. If I had the balance breaker I would be able to. The issei that I want to be he would. Pulse. I felt a strong pulse in my heart that shook my body to the core. A certain image popped into my mind. The image of an overpowering presence in red armor. The issei that I want to be. Pulse. What is this? A weird feeling. Like a quick surge of energy. My arm, it feels prickly. Partner, strike back this time. How what? Why? With what? Use your dragon shot. Oh, that one attack that blew up the mountain. Yes, fire back straight at him. Send his attack back towards him. But that attack was one quick shot. His attack will certainly last much longer. Just concentrate on releasing a steady stream of energy after shooting. Do not concern yourself with how much power you put into it. That will disrupt your concentration. I will boost if need be. Alright, I better not fucking die, Drake. Do you wish to die? Hell no. Then prove your resolve. Hell yeah. I guess. I ran out of my hiding area. Taninn stops momentarily. I concentrate my energy and create a small sphere in the palm of my gear and point it straight up at Taninn. We lock eyes. As if no words need be exchanged, he resumes his actions. I am going to take the attack full force and send it right back fucking at him. And he knows it. The fire breath is launched at me. It's scorching hot even from a 10-meter distance. But this is what I have been preparing for. I'm ready for ya, probably. Now, partner. Shot. In one moment, the powerful beam of energy blasted out from my gauntlet and the 2 attacks collided. The attacks collide. This is it. This is a Dragon Ball battle. This is a shonen boss battle. Our attacks are colliding and pushing against each other. The surrounding area is quaking, and the pressure from the attacks is creating sharp tree-cutting winds. The floor beneath me is starting to crack from the pressure. I can't hold this forever. Taninn is too strong. And even still, I can sense him holding back a lot. I can't. Boost. I can feel more power and lift myself higher than my initial posture, which was almost falling to my knees. Boost. I have failed so many times. I failed my parents, I failed Butchu, I failed Asia, and I failed myself. But that's okay. I can fail myself. Failure is a part of life. It is unavoidable. But my friends, I will not fail. Boost. Not anymore. Boost. Not again. Boost. I have to protect them. Boost. I have to protect Asia. Boost. I can't be held up by others anymore. The issei that I want to be, that's not someone who will let that happen again. That's not someone who will back down. That's not someone who won't be able to protect his friends. That's not someone who will fail. No, I won't. I won't let it happen. I will protect them. I will not die. And I will not fail. Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker. Scale Mail. Without even realizing it, a familiar announcement was made. And with that, a powerful explosion of energy was not only released from my palm, but from my body as well. The last thing I heard was an explosion off in the distance. I could feel myself huffing heavily in exhaustion. It's dark. For some reason my body feels a bit heavy. You know, the mountain behind Taninn is huge. And now 10% of it is gone. Wait, what? Taninn is laughing his ass off. Although, I don't know if his deep bellowing could be considered laughter. Why is he laughing anyway? So he destroyed the tip of the mountain, so what? He's a fucking monster, obviously. Partner, that mountain is around 120 plus meters tall. Unbelievably tall. Taninn is approximately 20 plus meters tall. That is near the size of the chunk missing from the mountain peak. Yeah, he can do that quite easily, can't he? 20%. You're the one facing the mountain, partner. Eh? Hahaha. What are you still standing there in a daze for? How is your body? Can you still fight? Because if you can, then I expect a good spar. My body feels fine, I guess. I'm just tired as shit. I can't even talk to you because of how out of breath I am. I do feel taller though. And I also feel good despite the lack of energy. Probably give me a few minutes and I can bounce back. Breg, can you pass the message to me? Hahaha. It seems my host is unaware of his current condition, Taninn. I would be delighted to elaborate, however, I must refrain as I find it even more amusing to let him be. Is that so? Well, in that case, I too shall participate. Participate in what? What are you guys talking about? What about my condition? How would you guys know how I feel? I'm red. Oh. Are they? Am I falling? Thud. Oh, look, the sky. Rest well, partner. You have earned it. Thanks, I'll just take a small break, a few minutes. Well done, Drake. Hey, isn't that shorter than before? With that, I lose consciousness. I feel like maybe not that bad, just a little sore. You take pleasure in exploiting the negative moments of your everyday life, partner. I don't know, probably just a habit, honestly. A bad one. May have to get rid of it. I'm the only idiot I know that isn't an optimist. More importantly, where am I? Isn't this my man cave? Indeed. This is your place of rest, which you have dubbed so inappropriately. Hey. Shut up, Drake. Let me have something. I'm all alone on this damn mountain. I don't have goddamned anything here. No money. No women. No bed. No sanity. You have a balance breaker. Yay, but. Scale mail. Activate. Countdown. Oh my fucking god, Drake, do you have any idea how cool this is? I'm going to die right here. I swear I could die right now with a smile on my face. Wait, no, I still need to get laid. Let me have, then I can die. Indeed, partner, you have amazed me. I never believed I would see the day. Hey, fuck you, that's not fair. You know how weak I was before, but now I can become great. Maybe I can even be called legendary dragon like Taninn one day. I think I'm going to piss out. Breath, partner. Inhale, exhale. Hey, looks like I forgot I wasn't even talking out loud. Wow, didn't think I was that stupid. Once again, you amaze me, partner. Hey, fuck you. I may be stupid, but to call it amazing is too much. I was referring to your ability to become so engrossed in your own thoughts that you would cease an unconscious action from continuing, although your stupidity is facina. Fuck you. Welsh Dragon Balance Breaker. Boosted Gear Scale Mail. Asp. The armor. I totally forgot it was on countdown. How long was that? 1 minute. Yikes. That's not much, but in battle that would not be very nice. Indeed. Good catching on, partner. A time limit would most certainly bode poorly. especially considering various enemies you cannot stall or run from. Speaking of time, how long have I been asleep for? Approximately. No wait, don't tell me. Let me guess. Okay. There's a few factors to take into account when considering the passage of time. So first, my area. I'm in the cave, but I can smell the air from outside. It's no longer morning, so it's similar to noon in this world. There are various smells that tell me because certain wild creatures move from this area at different times. Then there's me. My condition. I can taste the built-up mucus and saliva from sleeping too long. Gross. Anyway, my body too. I'm sore. But not as sore as I should be, and I don't think that's on account of the armor. Usually after harsh training the soreness should not increase until a couple hours after. Right around then there is a dramatic spike in soreness that abruptly begins to seep in. The only reason I wouldn't notice it is because I'm resting or sleeping, but the moment I move intense pain is apparent. However, if a lot of time has passed the soreness should be much less apparent. And if it is at its peak after around 7 to 8 hours of sleep and right now it's only half sore, I've been sleeping double that. Holy shit. In that case. I estimate 14 hours of sleep. Not a bad partner. Very close. I never would have considered you would use your physical exhaustion as a means to tell time. I had only considered you would use the details regarding your surroundings like yesterday. Unorthodox. Yet interesting. Shit. How close was I? More accurately, 12.8 hours have passed while you were resting. That is the exact estimate. How the hell is an estimate exact? Time is never exact. It is always progressing by the seconds. I simply gave you the explanation best suited for you. Hey, don't get smart with me, you overgrown lizard. Of course not, partner. I would never force something upon you which you cannot handle. Wait, something I cannot handle, hey. You seemed refreshed, boy. Asp. Taninn. At the entrance of my cave. Or at least his head. He can't fit in this cave. Asen. Were you watching me sleep? Hahaha. Do not be a ridiculous boy. I felt your energy spike and assumed you had awakened. Oh. Yeah, I'm up, but wait, why am I up so late? You didn't try to wake me? What about training? After yesterday I decided to be lenient with you in honor of your accomplishment. Asp. Leniency? I had forgotten such a concept even existed. Honestly, you had surprised me, Drake. Your attack was not strong at first, however, when you had finally unlocked the balance breaker, your attack had increased at least tenfold in size. Such an attack could have engulfed my entire body easily should you have been aiming for my body rather than my head, though I cannot guarantee it would have proven effective. Either way, an attack like that could have possibly removed one of my horns. What the fuck are you laughing at? Wouldn't that hurt? Feel pain, you fucking monster. I refuse to be the only one. Beside, how are you feeling, boy? Oh yeah, the armor. I begin moving and it's light, no way. It isn't even heavy, I can walk and hop just fine. Of course, partner. The armor is perfectly fit for combat. It is the pinnacle of the boosted gear. Simply because you aren't the strongest Sekiryuutei does not mean you cannot use it once unlocked. It is yours now. For it to be too heavy to use would be nothing but a joke. No way. So I am basically a monster now too. Not necessarily. Simply because you have the ability to use it to its fullest extent does not mean you know how to do it automatically. Nor does it mean that you are unbelievably strong, despite the great difference from your base form. Ah shit, but what is it that I can't do? Can you fly? Oh wait, of course not. You know I can't use my demonic power properly enough to control my wings naturally. That is not what I was referring to, partner. Imagine your armor had wings. Huh? Okay. Boom. An odd whipping noise. I look behind me and what the wings I have wings. Not devil wings. Red ones. Big ones with little horns at their tips. Way bigger than the devil ones. These could easily cover my body. No fucking way. This gets cooler and cooler the more I continue. And I can tell Drake is in a good mood too. Every moment he seems more and more like a rich kid showing poor kids all his cool toys. Wow, what a sad analogy, huh? Not a bad look, boy. If your wish was to gain women, then they would surely throw themselves at your feet the moment you donned that armor. The absolute shock filled me. Aw, hell yeah. You know I'm about to abuse the shit out of this. There ain't no way I'm gonna just be humble or show grace and shit. What am I, Kiba? Hell no. I'm a dragon now. Well boy, you have to earn your right to abuse such a power. You sure you don't want to sit this one out, Asen, old man? Ha. I wonder how long a drake can fly without falling. We stare each other down. Oh, I am going to kick your ass. I got my ass kicked. Taninn is a monster. I don't care how many times I say it, he is. At first, we tested out my wings. I can fly. Or at least now I can. In the beginning, Drake took control of my wings. And though I appreciated it, the moment Taninn found out about it, he did not. He asked Drake to stop helping me, and he fucking agreed. So Taninn picks me up by my wings, flies up, and drops me from an insane height. I begged Drake to help me, but he refused, saying I wouldn't die from such a fall. So in other words, I was betrayed by my one and only partner and forcibly learned to fly. The second I started going off on Taninn, he just told me good job. Well done. Sigh, hey, can't be mad at the sensei. He properly motivates and praises me when necessary despite the harsh training. As long as I do what he says and try my best, he says, well done. Let's see if you can beat that. No punishments, no ridicule. He just tells me what I need to do and I do it. Simple as that. Drake was right. The best way to train a dragon is with a dragon. I'm glad I met him. Ahem. Anyway, after that we ran the same tests we did the first few days. I dodged his fireballs as fast as I could using jet. On the ground. Testing my running speed. Taninn had suggested that I would do it in the air, but then I had a thought that I should test out my ground speed. I want to surpass Kiba's natural speed. Without my wings. And Taninn was all for the idea. And I'm not just talking about current speed. Kiba is planning to be trained from scratch again by his master, who I still have not met, so he will obviously get stronger and faster. Especially considering he had a balance breaker before me. So I'm not going to surpass current Kiba, I'm going to surpass future Kiba too. He is my rival as well as my best friend. Also, I was able to easily lift that large stone a few days ago. Tomorrow we are going to be testing how long I can last in my armor. The whole day will be dedicated to meditating in scale male form for as long as I can. Like my other rival. Speaking of, that's exactly who I am aiming for. My primary target is volley. Or at least that's what Drake says I should aim for. To surpass Sekiryuutei. Unfortunately, I'm not really feeling it. He is your goal, partner. Your reason for existing. Excuse me? My reason for existing. Oh well, isn't that cute? It is fine if you want to run from your destined partner. But at the very least respect the legend of our rivalry. My destiny? You're the one who started all this shit for no reason. As a matter of fact, why does such a rivalry exist? You don't even remember why, so I don't want to hear you talk shit about what to respect. You don't even respect the memory of your own rivalry. Learn to respect my dream. Learn to respect me. Very well, partner, forgive me if I have offended you. Oh no, I'm sorry, Drake. I'm just a bit nervous right now. You know where we are headed right now. I see if value is not your goal, then what exactly is, partner? This is. I touch the purple ground beneath me. Or more accurately, skin. Right now, I am riding the back of Taninn. We're on our way to his territory. The territory he was able to obtain after becoming an ultimate class. The last known collective territory of dragons from the underworld. This is my goal, Drake. My main goal is Taninn. I see. A perfect goal, if I must say. Thank you, Drake. You truly hold him in high regard. Yeah. It's only been a few days, beauty, I'm ever thankful to him. He is my sensei. My shishu. My friend. Haha, nah, he don't have that luxury. Are you still there? Yes, partner. I am listening. We're approaching now, remain diligent, boy. Taninn calls out to me. Yes. I gave my best response. I have to calm down. It wouldn't be nice to display my worthlessness to the other dragons. As we close in, I can see things flying around in the distance. Dragons. Freely flying through the skies. Here in the underworld. Like birds, in formations, circles, taking turns. The land is vast and covered in lines of trees that look too perfectly set up, as if they were lined up on purpose. And there actually aren't as many trees as you'd expect. Much less than the forests surrounding our mountain, but they seem to make up for it in their size. It's hard to tell from up here, but I know they're larger than any other trees. Damn near half of Taninn's size. If there is something about this, I feel like it calms me to watch it. It makes me feel at ease. And yet I don't know why. The land they circle is vast. Is this everything? Is this all theirs? No way, there's so much. Could it be? Is this the only thing Taninn requested from the mass? Something like this is like something that you can only ask for once. A once in an eternity request. Stuff like this makes me think that if the mouse were cruel beings, they would most definitely not even give him half. And what they would give, they would warn him that he would never once receive another favor again. Luckily, that is not our Yondai Mao. Even so, this is too much. I'm sure the old devils were beyond infuriated at this. To give so much land only because of a rank. They would claim it is not their right, just like they laughed at Sona Kaichu's dream. Partner, calm yourself. You will alert Taninn should you continue. Focus on what is in front of you. Yeah, shit, you're right, I almost let out some dark horror probably. It's cool that I can do that now, but I should be happy right now. Taninn has given me the great honor, no. The greatest honor for a dragon to receive. Or at the very least, the greatest present he could give me. Indeed, partner. I, as well, feel proud to witness such a sight if only I had witnessed it in life. Well, we're here now. Or almost. This land really is huge. Wait, oh, some of the dragons have stopped in midair, they're flying this way. 3 dragons fly straight past us doing some wicked spins. Whoa. I want to do that. They're heading straight up and then they wrap themselves in their wings, allowing themselves to freefall, and once they reach an altitude equal to ours, they reopen their wings and start flying using their momentum. And once again they whip right past us. Whoa. The dragons. They responded to his call. Like howling wolves. Or roaring dragons. Taninn-sama. Oh, I hear one of the dragons speak. Scratch that, I hear many dragons speak. Taninn-sama. Oh no. Many dragons are flying below us now. I can hardly hear anything with the loud flapping of wings below and next to me. There are dragons flying at an altitude which is a bit above Taninn right next to me. They're looking at me. From both sides. Do they recognize me? Oh no, what do I do? React naturally, partner. Simply look onward with pride. Okay. I immediately face forward with my puffed out and a distant look in my eyes, as if I were hot shit. Is that the Sekiryuutei? I can sense it. That is most certainly the devil from the Gremory peerage. The one Taninn-sama mentioned. He's so cool. He doesn't even pay us mind. He must be that strong. This is one of the greatest moments of my life. Foom foom foom. Taninn is flapping his wings more than he did before. He's no longer going forward. Oh, he's landing. On. We've landed. I jump off of Taninn's back. Oh shit. Foom 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 foom. All the other dragons that were around us started landing near us. And a bunch of other dragons that weren't here before are now showing up from out of the lines of trees. We've been surrounded. Murmur. The loud mixture of voices. I can't exactly pick out what they're saying. Only a couple of phrases. Taninn-sama has returned with the Sekiryuutei. The Red Dragon Emperor, Sekiryuutei. The pawn of Ria's Gremory. Taninn-sama is personally training him one-on-one. The one he mentioned. He defeated Phoenix. The heavenly dragon. The legendary being. Whoever said that last thing, I must know your name. Taninn lifts his hands. The dragons almost immediately started to quiet down until silence. Younglings, this is issei. He motions towards me. Oh shit. I come out from behind him where I was previously hiding. As many of you know, he is the pawn of Ria's Gremory and this generation's Red Dragon Emperor. Silence. Whoa. The dragons roar into the sky together. Is that for me? Taninn raises his arms once again. Silence. He and I will be spending the remainder of today as well as tomorrow here. And you will all train together. They roar once more, this time even more enthusiastic. They're happy, this is good. Stomp stomp stomp. I mean Satan. They're closing in. I'm going to be crushed. They stop just short of me. Surrounding me. Many dragon heads staring at me are waiting for me to respond. Respond properly, partner. As the Sekiryuutei should. As the Sekiryuutei should, huh? Yo. No, that sucks. Cool. Yeah, that's right. It looks cool. Cross my arms. Tip my chin upward. Yo. Fuck. Speech. What the hell? They're all responding. I can't tell what they're saying. Focus. Listen. No way. He's a reincarnated devil. Just like Taninn-sama. He can destroy us all. I want to see his armor. His armor. It's called Balance Breaker. I've heard it's all red. Blood red. As I thought, it was one of the greatest days of my life. Ha. Ease up, younglings. He hasn't much room to breath. You may interrogate him during the feast. Feast. The XD. I didn't understand what Taninn meant earlier when he said feast, but I do now. A myriad of different colored dragons were all sitting along the line of trees. Leaning back and conversing with each other. The formation is a large thinly stretched oval. Or more accurately, zero shape, considering how skinny it was. Almost more dragons than I can count. From what I can assume, this is all the dragons inhabiting all the land. There are even dragons resting on the trees above and near us, on both sides. Everyone is sitting closely together, so compact and yet comfortably. So basically, there are dragons surrounding us on every side, though we aren't in the center or anything. Taninn and I are just on one side sitting together. Both of us sitting with our legs crossed, unlike the other dragons that are on all fours, lying down, or resting sleeping on trees. I had asked Taninn before, and apparently in the past he too stood just like them on all fours. But after he became a devil and integrated their society, he began to stand and sit like them. Of course, his body was not built for this, so he had to transform his body, mainly his torso and stomach area, to accommodate standing and sitting posture of humanoid qualities. And now he's just used to it. After all, dragons can just freely transform their bodies when they reach a certain power level. I wonder what he looks like as a human. More importantly, the feast before is indeed a true feast. Taninn conjured a humongous indigo-colored carpet-like blanket fabric thing. So large that many dragons had to assist in stretching it and laying it down properly. After that, another bunch of dragons left and came back by the time the fabric was set down. And a majority of them were holding big pieces of meat. Like full sections of meat the same size as their torso or their entire bodies. The smaller dragons that weren't carrying meat were carrying some type of fruit. A red fruit with small flaps that were more yellow in color. It looks almost exactly like the dragon fruit from the human world. Except red. What were those actually called? Pitaya. Or something. Anyway, once the meat was set down on the fabric, Taninn conjured up a long line of magic circles with fire coming out of them. Like a bonfire. They used them to cook the meat, or at least some of them did. There were many that just ate it as is, raw. Well, they are dragons. Eat up, Drake. This is one of the only feasts you shall be receiving during your time here. Let alone with so many of our own kind. Taninn encourages me to eat something. He is sitting on my left. Yes. As Taninn Sama says, Sekiryuutei Sama. Eat whatever entices you. Would you like some meat? Or would you rather have some dragon apples? The yellow dragon, not even twice my size, sitting on my right, says enthusiastically with a big handful of the fruit. Ah, that's what they're called. Who the hell thought of such a weak name? No. More importantly, I need to respond. Oh no. No, it's okay, I'm not actually that hungry, thank you. Yes, of course, my apologies, Sekiryuutei Sama. Shit. No. I made him think he was bothering me. No, young one. I can't treat him like this. Just earlier many dragons were fighting over who got to sit next to me, and this one won through an odd game, where they spewed a small amount of fire around themselves, and whoever made the most perfect circle won, he think. No one explained it. I just watched. No. Now's not the time. I mean yes. As a matter of fact, I would love some dragon apples, youngling. I tried my best to respond similarly to Taninn's tone and speech. Oh, I can see his sharp eyes glint. Oh, of course. Excuse me for not leaving them to you. Take as many as you'd like. The bigger ones tend to be juicier, but the smaller ones crunch very satisfyingly and are easy to eat in large amounts. He responds to me with pure happiness. I want to cry. I'm sorry. Would you like to be my friend? Please be my friend. I take a smaller fruit. It's actually around the size of an apple from the human world. Putting it into perspective, it's actually kinda smaller than the dragon fruit from the human world. But he did say there are different sizes, so let's take a bite. Crunch. It's delicious. The greatest fruit I have ever tasted, hands down. The taste it most reminds me of is grapes. But large. And 10 times better. Amazing. How would this fare in my diet? Can I bring some home? How's it, Sekiryuutei Sama? He asks me nervously. No need to be nervous. I like you very much. Learn to speak your mind, partner. Alright. It's marvelous. It tastes better than I could have imagined. I'm glad to hear that, Sekiryuutei Sama. Okay. Now. Say it. And no need to call me Sekiryuutei Sama, youngling. You have every right to speak my name. Hi to issei. Call me issei. Such an honor. I do not believe I am worthy. Nonsense. You earned your spot next to me, you damn well earned the right to say my name. Why yes. I'm honored by issei Dono. I mean issei Sama. Forgive me. No. Dono is perfectly fine. I am nowhere near as Taninn's level. You may address me as that. Yes. I understand, issei Dono. And with that, the whole ordeal is solved. Ah, that's a weight off me. A murmur. I can hear some of the dragons nearest to us start whispering. He called him by his name. He got permission. This is why I wanted to sit next to him. How unfair. Does he want us to call him Dono from now on? Sekiryuutei Dono. I wonder how strong his offspring would turn out. I man, these dragons, wait, what was that last one? They are good younglings, partners. Ha. What is it? Oh no, nothing, just proof that I'm on my way to becoming a neat. After a while of eating and socializing, the dragons began to play games. Most of them I didn't understand and decided to sit them out. But there was a couple that I participated in due to the amount of heads that would turn when I said that sounds like fun. I mean, I couldn't just not play. They looked at me like they were waiting for that moment their entire life. So, the games I played were the most simple ones. My favorite was the Valor game. Apparently it means fly in Latin. And it's basically just flying as fast as you can in a formation and doing cool tricks together. It was so fucking cool. Everyone kept fighting over who got to be in my formation. So much so that some of them weren't satisfied by any normal means and just wanted to battle for it. In the end, I had to calm them and just told them whoever could guess my age would join me. Unfortunately, more guessed it right than I expected. So I ended up having to lead a formation twice the size of a normal one, according to Taninn. I felt very embarrassed, though, because the only thing I could really do is have them make a simple V formation like birds do and have them perform simple maneuvers like quick spin slow 180 turns. I couldn't help feeling embarrassed. But even after that, the only things they responded with were the basics. He is being considerate to those of us who aren't very skilled. I was worried I wouldn't be able to keep up, but Sekiryuutei-sama was looking out for me. Sekiryuutei-sama does not concern himself with technique, but rather with grace during performance. He appreciates the classics. Simple is best. You all give me too much credit. Seriously, I'm not that great. I never thought anything could warm my heart more than Taninn's meteor breath or breathing fire myself also. I need to learn how to do that the moment I wake up tomorrow. Quite the sight, is it not? Oh, that's right. After all that happened, Taninn and I separated ourselves from the dragons, who continued to play various games I still could not understand due to my lack of knowledge on a dragon's physiology. And we are now gazing at the dragons off in the distance, from a cliff not too far off. Biha, a really beautiful place full of beautiful people. Too bad I can't stay beyond tomorrow. Apparently, the reason we're only staying today and tomorrow is because Azazel sensei was planning to visit me on my 6th day on the mountain. Which is the day after tomorrow. For whatever reason. Part of me wishes he wouldn't. I really never thought I would say that either. Speaking of which, why do I even call him sensei? It isn't as if he is my mentor or anything. If anything, only Taninn is the only one worthy of such a title. I should just call him Azazel from now on. At the very least, you can try your best to enjoy our time here before we depart. Although, we will be training tomorrow. Ha! Saying that as if it was a bad thing, awesome. Spending time with these dragons is fine enough for me. They treat me like some sort of lord. I don't deserve it, but they certainly make me feel appreciated. To them you are more than a lord. You are the Sekiryuutei. You best not disappoint them. I don't even think I can. They won't let me. Haha. We begin to laugh wholeheartedly together. Until a silence took over. Tell me something, boy. What is your dream? My dream? Asia's face quickly floods my mind. I just want to protect my friends. Is that so? I half expected you to answer with the harem. These must be your true feelings. Oh yeah, well, that's really just the first thing I thought of. Not a bad goal in principle. But in the end it is only that. A goal. Not a dream. And a short-term one at that. One day those friends of yours will become strong enough to protect themselves, won't they? Then what will you do? He questions me. But I feel as if he is questioning me for my own sake. Not to deter me in any way. What would I do, huh? Well, to be fair, the person I want to protect isn't going to be learning to fight for herself anytime soon. Oh? Is this person you refer to possibly the woman you fancy? Yeah. It's the woman I love. Asia. Silence. I have never said that, not even to myself. It was an unconscious reaction. I didn't have to think about it before I said it. Oh, that means it's true, doesn't it? I see. That truly was not the response I had expected. Is that bad? No, not necessarily. Suppose it just means that there is still much I do not know about you. Though for some reason I am not disappointed. Ah. Would you like to know my dream? Taninn's dream? What sort of dream could he possibly have? Someone like him who is already an ultimate class devil. Yes. He points ahead of us. Towards the dragons. Ah. That is my dream. To bring an almost extinct race that was considered the greatest back to their former glory, nay, to greater glory. You want to become a faction. I want them to prosper. Whether the other factions recognize us is the least of my concerns. A title does not define our race. Monsters, beasts, threats, they may label us however they wish as long as they may roam and live peacefully. I will fight on their behalf for eternity if need be. Once they have reached a point in which they can freely roam the skies of the underworld with no trouble, then I will be fit to lie down and die. Until then, I will stand. I see. This is Taninn. No. They are Taninn. I finally understand. The future that is your dream. He nods his head. Taninn, for you to think so much of your own people you are. Heh. I smirked. You are amazing to believe you are my mentor. I am beyond honored, that's why. Only an old man would be so worried about the future. He looked down at me curiously. I smiled at him. The future is for the young us and leave it to kids to handle it. His eyes widened a bit in realization. If you are willing to go so far for them, then someone like me I will also. Boy, you. He went silent at my determined gaze, then he switched his gaze back off to the hundreds of dragons in the distance. He sat there silently for a few seconds. I see. Thank you, Ice. He called me by my name for the first time. But I don't trust snotty brats with such an important job without supervision. Eh? He says that while looking down at me with his chin up. But his eyes held a certain light. Wah. Ah. I soon realized it. Taninn, you are. At this point, I couldn't tell which of us was laughing. Although something tells me it was both of us. A lot happened yesterday. I got to visit the dragon territory, play games, feast, and train. I even got the chance to meet one of Taninn's children. That's right. This old man has kids. 3 of them to be exact. 3 sons. I only got to meet one of them though. Apparently, they were away for reasons not explained to me. Something about preparing themselves. So I met one son, and his name was Bova Taninn. The other 2, I did not meet and neither did I learn their names. It went a bit like this. It is a great honor to meet you, Sekiryuutei-sama. I am Bova. 3rd son of the Taninn bloodline. Oh my. A respectful young dragon. He looks like Taninn, but a more magenta color, unlike Taninn's purple scales. He's about 3 meters tall. Not very big actually. But I can't believe Taninn has children, what an old man. A young boy, I wonder if he is older than me. It is very confusing since their lifespans are longer in general. Well, not longer than devils. In the end, it wouldn't really matter now, would it? Wait. 3rd son? Where are the other 2? Oh, that is. Yes, where are those boys? Taninn questions his son curiously. Bova answered in an awkward manner. Well, when we had initially went off everything was fine, but then when I had reminded them that we had to return soon they began fighting like usual and they kind of just stayed behind fighting. Taninn sighs deeply. What is it that is between these 2 children that causes them to fight so often? Well, knowing them, they won't return until nightfall. In 2 days. Taninn's son finishes his sentence. He sighs once more. Nightfall in 2 days. We will most certainly be gone by then. What's the names of your other 2 sons of Shem? Taninn. Taninn answered me blankly. Cain and Abel. Many dragons began laughing at Taninn's response. Oh haha, he was messing with me, ha. I never got their names. I'm not sure why. Maybe because Taninn felt that they should properly introduce themselves the way Bova did. They're probably good kids, probably. Anyway, after that, I and many other dragons headed to sleep. That was a whole other catastrophe on its own because once again, these dragons give me too much credit. The night before. It was time to rest after a long day of playing, socializing, and thank every deity in existence. No training. Many dragons were heading off to sleep. But wait, where am I gonna sleep? I don't have a cave here. And my sleeping bag was left back on the mountain, although that's less of a problem. I looked at Taninn, who was speaking with his son, as many dragons were splitting up and saying goodbyes. Meanwhile, other dragons were already sleeping on trees and around the fabric Taninn left behind. Nah, Taninn. My cave is not here. Where do I sleep? I say while pointing at myself curiously. But Taninn stared at me blankly. HMPH, foolish boy. That was the only response he gave me, huh? I don't understand. Why would? Every dragon around was staring at me. Oh. I understand now. Speech. The dragons all began shouting and trying to get my attention. Sekiryuutei-sama. I have a cave. You may stay there. Nay, Sekiryuutei-sama. His cave is damp. Mine is better. Sekiryuutei-sama may sleep next to me, under the shade of a tree. The freshness of forest life is best. Sekiryuutei-sama may sleep under my wings in comfort. Your wings are too small. You will suffocate him. My mother would be honored to provide you warmth with her body. Her aura is calming. Sekiryuutei-sama does not want to sleep with such an older woman. He prefers someone young, like myself. Do not treat Sekiryuutei-sama like a child, fools. Whoa. Whoa. Everybody, calm down. Treat each other respectfully. You're brethren, aren't you? And also, who the hell said those last things? Don't you dare underestimate a mother's warmth. Mamas are candidates as well. Age is just a number. Especially for us. And don't sell your mom out like that, kid. She is special. Aren't you dad around? Oh. Why, you know, a mother's warmth is something to be appreciated. I say that out loud. Even though I said it while they were all arguing and making noise, the moment I uttered those words, they quickly silenced as if they were readily listening for a response, despite the rumble. And with that, I ended up sleeping under the very warm wing of a larger brown mama dragon. Not too large, but bigger than her son, who was only twice my size at most. Her son and I slept back to back, under her wing. I fell asleep quite easily. It took only a couple of minutes. It really was warm. And as if it was just a weird coincidence, I had a dream about sleeping in the arms of my own mother. I awoke to the assumption that her brown hair was tickling my nose, but when I opened my eyes, all I saw was the soft skin of a wing lightly touching my face. After that, I got up and announced that I was departing from my mama and son. The son said he would follow, since he is also to participate in training. The mama was going to follow us simply to observe, as per usual. I had asked the son in our flight why he wanted to participate in training. He told me every dragon had its own reasons, but the main thing was that Taninn insisted that dragons should be strong for the sake of future generations. I could definitely see many dragons jumping at the opportunity to become strong if Taninn is their shushu. I then asked what his reason was specifically. He said it was to protect his mother. As it is now, there is no imminent threat to his mother, but even so that is his goal. His mother was never very strong. She disliked fighting, unlike most of the other dragons. And even when she was young, most of her fights were not won, she fled. I came to understand why we had slept under her left wing, rather than her right wing, which was brutally scarred. My own mother's face is planted in my mind. Scarred. I don't want to imagine it. Once we arrived in the main clearing, the one in which the feast was held, Taninn had begun the training sessions. As it turns out, Taninn has a peerage of his own. They act as captains. Since there are too many dragons here for Taninn to train on his own, they split into groups and are trained by each of Taninn's peerage members respectively. Many dragons were unhappy that they couldn't join me in my group, the one trained by Taninn, but this is something they could only mull over, as the groups were set before I ever arrived here. Interestingly enough, the groups aren't split from strongest to weakest. They're split by how well dragons adapt and grow in a short amount of time. In other words, Taninn teaches the most and at the fastest pace in one day. Meanwhile, different peerage members teach different amounts and at different, slower paces. According to Taninn, the greatest skill a dragon has is not strength itself, but rather the ability to progress quickly. Something he said was my top skill. Adaptation and growth. That is the greatest piece of a dragon, or so he says. We learned a lot during training, or at least I did. A lot of the dragons were training with partners to practice the dragon-style martial art. Okay, let me explain. Apparently, Taninn created a fighting style called the dragon style. I renamed it to Ryu style, but that joke was left unappreciated since the dragons here don't speak Japanese and don't refer to it as such. Ahem. Anyway, the Ryu style is a special martial art specifically created for dragons. This is due to what the style relies on in order to be properly used. Dragons were once the greatest predators in existence. And in the past they were primarily what filled up a list of top 100 strongest beings. Almost as if they were destined to rule the skies, seas, and lands. Their bodies are built to be strong, spirits unbreakable, minds tenacious, and much more. All in all, they are meant to win. And the main indicator is, once again, their bodies. For example, their instincts. The very reason that Ryu style is perfect for dragons. The way Ryu style works is simple in nature. A reactionary style of martial arts. You see, out of any living race in existence, dragons have the greatest natural instincts. The average dragon has better instincts than a high-class devil. So Ryu style relies on such a factor by existing as a reactionary fighting style. In simplest terms, when an enemy attacks, counter-attack. Now you may think that's the stupidest thing you've ever heard, but that's just the best way I can explain it. In truth, it would be more accurate to say that it's one of the most confusing styles ever. This is how it works. It takes advantage of your instincts to the fullest. The reason is precisely for the reaction aspect. Practically, you get into your stance and prepare for a physical attack. Once the enemy attacks, immediately dodge or block, then counter. The counter is what matters most. During the counter, you should be attacking maliciously and relentlessly. Not allowing the enemy to counter you, because the moment they try, you would counter their counter and continue your barrage from there. You would think, why the hell would an enemy let you attack you so much? But that's exactly the point. It's not them letting you attack, it's you not letting them attack. It doesn't necessarily rely on speed. You don't need to be insanely faster than your opponent to use it. In fact, even being half as fast would be sufficient. Because your instincts kick in and warn you of their attack before it's even made it a quarter of the way towards you. That's why instinct is so important. That's why it's perfect for dragons. That's why it can be used for enemies stronger than you. That's why it's a reactionary style. That's why there's so much countering. You will know what attack they are going to use the moment their muscles tense. You can smell and even hear the fire welling up inside the bellies of another dragon. You can hear the sound of a magic circle being conjured by the symbol. You can feel someone's aura flare from long distances or quietly seep out from someone's body. Instinct is truly a terrifying concept. Of course, not all of this is easily done. That's what the training is for. The main part of it is learning to hone your instincts. This is what Taninn had all the dragons in my group help teach me. As well as how to breathe fire. At first, they were surprised that I was such a novice in these areas. Hey. It's not my fault I was born human. Which is exactly what Taninn told them. And after that, they immediately all began to enthusiastically teach me how to hone my instincts. Smells. What smells are most important to pay attention to and how to get used to smelling the most important things, subconsciously. Sounds. What to hear when to hear it. Sights. This one is complicated. My vision is pretty much perfect, but dragons have a skill where they can see farther. Not sure how to explain it, but they have increased vision over long distances, as long as they focus in. Like a camera. That's gonna be hard to replicate. Balance. Being able to tell which way is up in my direction, with my eyes closed. A natural skill, since it helps dragons fly. One that I don't have naturally and will have to improve. Scaling. Apparently the ability to measure someone's strength compared to your own. A purely instinctual skill. Probably the hardest. Once I did my best to get a grasp of the concepts that I could train later, we focused on the physical aspect. Putting the style into practice. That was much harder than I expected, especially considering these dragons' instincts are, naturally, way above mine. First, they taught me the stance. Left leg forward, straight, lean on right leg, bent, both hands forming a claw shape, right arm bent upwards hovering near the right side of face, left arm straight extended forward. And voila. The dragon stance. It kind of reminds me of a basic Kung Fu tiger stance. Well, somewhat. I don't know much about martial arts. I had the chance to learn when I was young unfortunately, that was around the time I had just met the old man and started loving Oppai. Anyway, I kinda sucked. I lost with ease each time. Apparently, I hit very hard thanks to the armor, according to the dragons in my group, but that wouldn't matter because I hardly ever hit. The only times I did hit was when I just used pure unyielding speed to try and hit them. This probably only worked because 1. The dragons were going easy on me, 2. I would do it completely unexpectedly out of pure frustration which I would then regret, in a corner, by myself, with a cloud over my head, only to have many dragons try to comfort me. So that's how the whole Ryu style training went. The rest of the training was more on the balance breaker. Not only was I in the armor the entire day and training Ryu style, but now I had to keep it on for the rest of the day while doing basic sparring training with Taninn. While the other dragons watched. Do you know how nerve-wracking that was? I had to go all out in order to not look like a weakling. And even then, they still praised me as usual. And they cheered me on instead of Taninn. Respect your shishu, children. So many hours pass. So much training. Now that was when the armor felt heavy as shit. The time flew by quickly. A full day of training in the armor. I felt like passing out. By the end of the day, I could hardly walk. And the moment I deactivated my armor, I fell straight onto the floor. The dragons helped me up and put me on the back of Mama Dragon. They all said their good nights while I just waved weakly. We returned to the small cave another dragon happily let us sleep in that we slept in the night before and passed out. Now we flash forward to this morning. The day of our departure. Many dragons were very sad that this was happening. I was too. Well then, everyone, this is where we take our leave. I will return the day after the young devils gathering party once more. Yes, Taninn-sama. The one who responds is one of Taninn's peerage members. Taninn and I were just preparing to leave. Everyone else is quiet. I look around. I meet eyes with many dragons. They bow their heads to me, but they don't lift their heads back up. I see droplets of water fall from their heads. No tea, that can't be right. Taninn eyes me without turning towards me. Yeah, I know. Well, younglings, it was great meeting all of you. I wish I could stay longer. I really do, but I gotta get going. The atmosphere felt so heavy and quiet. I could practically feel the layer of sadness in the air. I can't act cool like this. A dragon is approaching. Ah, the son of Mama Dragon. His name was Noidhe. What a cool name. I can't remember if they told me Mama's name, but she said Mama was fine. I ended up calling her that unconsciously anyway. Noid spoke to me in a sad voice. Issei don't know. Why yes Noid. There was a little pause. When would you return home? My brain stopped. Home? I felt something wet slide down my face. Ah, tears, my tears. Haha, what's with those faces? You're looking at me like I've grown horns. And what the hell am I talking about? Wish I could stay longer. You make it sound like you'll never return. What a joke. Eyes. My unexpected bout of laughter interrupted Taninn before he could say anything. I know, Taninn, no. Now, I know. I grabbed the top of Noid's head and press it against my forehead. I gave them all the brightest smiles I've ever made. What the hell are you talking about? Of course the same goes for me. And what the hell is up with this sad atmosphere, huh? What, am I not allowed to return? What a bunch of snotty brats. I'm coming back whether you like it or not, runts. They all collectively roared into the sky. Haha. That's what I like to hear. Even Taninn joins in. Well, if you can't beat them. I roared into the sky just like them. If only I could roar like a dragon. I wish I could have activated my armor immediately. These dragons taught me how to use it to make a roar similar to a dragon. I'll have to ask Taninn to teach me more so that when we return, I can greet them properly. After that, we departed. I waved everyone off with a smile on my face and mainly dried up tears on my cheeks. I got to experience so much these past few days. I got to see so many great things and meet so many great people. I even got to meet Dragon Zenobia. That's the nickname I have to a certain yellow female dragon I met. Okay, well, I only nicknamed her that because of the similarity. You see, she is the dragon who would keep mentioning things like mating and procreation in the midst of all the other voices. She actually asked me up front if I was willing to spare her some seed in the future. What a bold dragon. Truly like it. When I told her that it would be impossible because she is a full-blown dragon, she simply contemplated for a bit, then answered me enthusiastically. In that case, I will become strong enough to transform into human form. Problem solved. So, she said. Problem solved, I guess, right. In any case, she was determined to reach that goal, and I found it kind of endearing. She was also leagues above Zenobia in terms of personality. Unlike Zenobia, this dragon asked me if it was alright, instead of assaulting me and expecting me to comply. She was also much more considerate of my feelings, asking me things like what would we name it, and saying that she will try to be as beautiful and distinguished as she can, so she will be a woman I am proud of. What a considerate attitude. She even asked me my likes and dislikes and what type of appearance I would like best. Naturally, I chose young, blonde, and big-breasted, and she responded with, easy. This girl is much greater than Zenobia. She actually shows emotion and considers me romantically as well as Zenobia better step up her game. Otherwise, she practically takes her place as candidate. I've met so many great people here. For the first time in a long time. I'm glad I'm alive. Current time. It's early afternoon, I estimate, near 1 o'clock 1:30 p.m. in the human world. Although, that's way harder to guess than estimating the passage of time itself. To be honest, the only reason I'm able to tell is because I've already gotten a good handle of when the noon of this world is. I just estimate the amount of time past afternoon in this world. Wanna know something funny? Apparently, due to the majority of the population being reincarnated devils, the underworld will soon make changes to its environment. Specifically how time works. So not too far in the future, the days in the underworld will come to resemble those in the human world. Good thing I got this training in before they implemented that change. Otherwise, I would have never had the chance to learn time approximations. That aside, Azazel said he was coming today, didn't he? He will most likely arrive soon. As a matter of fact, I think I feel something off in the distance, something familiar, maybe his aura. Ah, yes. I am also properly sparring Taninn again. I fiercely refilled my lungs with air again after Taninn's attack practically devoured all of the oxygen near me. Not bad. Not bad at all, my boy. Such an unorthodox method of attack is proof of your odd way of problem solving. He's talking about the attack I just landed now. The only successful attack I've landed so far. Or at least the only one that had any significant effect. As Taninn told me once before, the greatest skill I have under my metaphorical belt is my rapid growth. Yesterday, we focused on various skills, one by one, so that I could commit all my energy to them individually. Considering my growth, Taninn believes the best way to train me would be to have me focus on skills by their lonesome, so that I could try my best to master them before moving to the next skill. Of course, this isn't a perfect method. Mastering skills individually in one day is impossible, even for me. I'll have to keep refining them. Not that I'm special. Okay, I'm a little special. I do say that I want to be as special. Ahem. Regardless, yesterday that was the focus. Today, we go back to the basics. Combat. Taninn took some time to show me some other martial art styles I didn't pick up on, as well as the Ryu style. Then again, Ryu style isn't really a set style with specific moves. The only reason it's called a style is because it relies on a number of different factors like things involving yourself and your enemy, fast-paced movement, and a stance. It's not very complex in concept, but it's unique enough to be identified by name. So, it will take a while to catch on to those other styles, I imagine. A nasty gash, I must say. Taninn comments on the large wound placed on his left arm. A deep cut bleeding a considerable amount, starting from the side of his shoulder running down his forearm, stopping a bit above his wrist. Don't act like that was just whatever. Feel pain, damn you. It was difficult to land that attack. Taninn practically has no openings, and the only way I can see myself landing hits is because Taninn never really dodges, just blocks, or because I build up my speed as much as I can through boosts and momentum, though that method is less effective. Funnily enough, the second method was the one that just worked. I built up boosts to increase my speed as much as I could, flew sporadically around Taninn while shooting dragon shots and flames at him. Then, I flew straight up and jet down alongside his arm, with my Azazel on his slicing skin. Thereby, creating the deep cut. Of course, right after that, Taninn shot a fireball straight at me when I landed. Instead of dodging, I decided to block with my arms and take the attack head on. I had thought how much exactly can this armor take? And wanted to test it. That was a good idea, huh? So as it is right now, half of my armor is gone in various sections, including my helmet, the back of my gauntlets, parts of my abdominal armor, and sections of my leg armor. And I'm bleeding pretty much everywhere I am exposed. Wait, I feel something approaching, smell it too, hear it too. Oh my. What impressive looking armor. Such an attack would have had me running for sure. That voice. Azazel. Taninn and I cut our training short as Azazel suddenly appeared. Taninn greeted him. You finally arrive, Governor. Indeed. And I come bearing gifts. Gifts? He's holding something wrapped in his hands. They're bento boxes. The XD. Bento box. Yes. A bento box. Food I'm familiar with. I had almost forgotten my life away from this mountain. Hahaha. Make sure to eat all of them. The girls fought quite a bit over who got to make a box for you. It got hectic. Destruction and thunder all around. Translation. Rias vs. Akeno. MMMM. So good. I am currently eating, devouring, the bento made by Akeno. Ah, no, Akeno-san. Well, I mean I should respect my senpai, right? It's not that I don't respect her. It's just that I don't know. I've been finding honorifics quite unnecessary lately. Maybe it has to do with the time spent with the dragons. Well, it's not like it's a big deal anyway, right? The Haidu issei that I want to be is much more confident, after all. I already finished Ria's bento. There's one more left. Wonder who made it. Although I must say the fact that you've unlocked the balance breaker, not to mention so quickly, is more than good news. Beyond expectations, I'd say. Though I never doubted you. You've also gotten a bit of a good face the days I haven't seen you, your body as well. Play your cards right and you may have your harem just yet. Asp. My harem. I completely forgot about that. To believe I have become so engrossed in analyzing my training and putting it into practice that I didn't remember one of my primary goals in life. How unnerving. Haha. A good mind too. Engrossed, unnerving. Such big words. And here I was under the assumption that you would only become more stupid spending so much time on a mountain. Fuck you, Ash Crow. Oh. And a sharp tongue. You almost never used to speak your mind as openly as you should, despite your honest nature. Tell me, Ice, when did you learn about my old nickname? Oh, that's right, it was his old nickname. I just said it without thinking. I heard it from an older dragon when I mentioned you in Taninn's territory. They said their forefathers would call you that nickname during the war, since you were head of the fallen angels. Though, they overheard it from other faction groups they encountered in their land randomly. Hey. Wait a minute. Who cares about that? More importantly, stop knowing things about me, you creepy, fake sensei. I may not teach at your school, but I am still officially your sensei. You shouldn't be so disrespectful. You should thank me for helping you reach balance breaker by setting you with Taninn. Hell no. Asen is my sensei. No, Asen is my shushu. I thank him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am now. Don't complain when you aren't the one who trained me. I could hear Taninn's muffled laughter. He's lying on a huge boulder near his eyes, attached to the side of the mountain. Azazel looks through the training journal I brought back from my cave. So this is what you've been using to record your progress, have you? I see. This training regiment is much harsher than the original one. Ha. Leave it up to Taninn, the former Dragon King, to show no leniency. I suppose it makes sense, considering you unexpectedly unlocked Balance Breaker. It did well for him. He's made unusual progress. His timer has decreased by 15 seconds in one day. He's gained a variety of skills as well. Not to mention, should he go all out, he can handle around 25% of my full power in terms of attacks. Taninn defends me. Shushu. My one and only shushu. See, Azazel. That's how you praise your students. As I thought, you deserve no honorifics. But, 25% huh? That may not sound much, but Taninn is a monster. A quarter of his power, the image of 4 Tanins pops up in my head, I shiver. Oh ho. Quite the resume. Impressive. Impressive indeed. Speaking of which, you visited Taninn's territory. Oh yeah, he didn't know. Yeah. It was awesome. I met so many good dragons, and ate great food, played great games, and learned so many things. Whoa, whoa. Haha. Calm down. You sound like an excited child. Don't call me a child. It was awesome. Azazel's face becomes serious. Unfortunately, even with all this progress, you still have not reached Vali's level. You have a ways to go. I advise you not to waste your time trying to improve your magic skills. Vali could destroy you in such a field while doing a headstand, so you'll have to improve physically. Similar to Sekiryuutei Bale. Sekiryuutei, that's Ria's cousin. The strong one from the young devils meeting. He was certainly very strong. Physicality, huh? I will have to aim for him as well. Speaking of Vali, he was trying to do something the last time we fought. What was that? Ah, that was the Juggernaut drive. Is it something above even the balance breaker? No, there exists nothing above balance breaker. The ultimate and final form of sacred gears is the balance breaker. However, there are several things inside sacred gears that have a magical being sealed in them, like yours. A peculiar restraint is applied on those ones. Your boosted gear and Vali's divine dividing are examples of that. I see. Mine and his sacred gear are the type whose power comes from having a magical being, in other words, a dragon sealed inside it. Those ones are strongly restrained, taking out power while in that state and making sure that the host can use it. In the case of the sacred gears of the Sekiryuutei and the Sekiryuutei, forcing that restraint to temporarily release and unleashing the sealed power is the Juggernaut drive. It temporarily gives one power rivaling that of God, but the risk is also huge. It greatly shaves off one's lifespan. And it also makes one lose their sense of reason. You mean you run out of control? A berserker? Yeah, to a violent degree. One would destroy all of their surroundings and even start to destroy oneself before finally stopping. It's impossible to master that power in actual combat, but Vali can handle it for several minutes by consuming an enormous amount of magic power. He should be able to do so anyway. Since Albion was impatient back then, I guess that it still has its dangers. Naturally, it's not my place to say this as one who uses an artificial sacred gear in a burst state, but the way to use a power that throws away one's future like that is essentially different from the way to use the sacred gear's power. It's an accursed method of fighting that just uses the power of people that are transformed into the dead. You should absolutely never copy it. He says this with a bit of sadness in his eyes. Is it because of Vali? I assume it is. Drake told me that I need to learn to read in between the lines and pay attention to things like atmosphere, attitude, and tone. Something I've already done before. I did it before my attack that unlocked Scale Mail. Taninn and I didn't exchange any words, but we knew what we were both thinking. A handy skill in battle, especially when it comes to teamwork. Also, he said it would help with women, so I'm practicing it now. So the current Sekiryuutei can handle the Juggernaut drive. That's a problem. Ice would surely be killed if it was activated. The way either the white or red awakened that power before certainly let them surpass the other. In some sense, it's first come, first served. Taninn says something shocking. So you're telling me that's how they did it in the past? How pathetic. Fighting without their own strength. Their deaths were in vain. Well, too bad for Vali, I ain't fucking dying. Not anytime soon, at least. I have too many things that need to be accomplished. I have to become an ultimate class devil like Taninn. I have to help Taninn take care of our people. There's something I have to ask Sona Kaiju. Ah, the harem too, I guess. And above all that, I have to see Asia again. I remember the moment Vali tried to activate it. Albion, this one surely deserves to see the Juggernaut drive. I who is about to awaken. Vali, was this your goal all along? Did you intend you be consumed by my power? Even Albion did not agree to his decision. You disappoint me, Vali. Ice, let's change the topic. Azazel called out to me, who hadn't looked at him since before, with a suddenly formal tone. Yes. What do you think of Akeno? That sudden. What was this about? Is it something I should try to read more into? I think that she's a good senpai. I immediately spoke my honest feelings. Her S-mode was a bit scary, but she's usually very gentle, and the girlish part of her that she sometimes shows is really cute. Besides, at this point, nothing scares me more than Taninn now. So it should be fine. That's not what I meant. I mean as a woman. She's attractive. She's one of the people that I would like to be with. Azazel nodded at my question with an while seeming somehow relieved. As I thought, he feels responsible for her, for some reason. So he checked me, I see. You see, I also have to watch over her in the place of a friend of mine. Bingo. You mean Akeno-san's father, who's one of your subordinates, right? Rather than a subordinate, Barakiel is a comrade from ancient times like Shemhazai. A friend, friends. We did a lot of stupid things together. So, before I realized it, everyone around me besides myself had gotten wives and kids. Azazel sighed deeply. Ah, this person, is he the type to worry about being single? Unexpectedly. You were beaten to the punch, It's fine, since I have so many women for me. Ah, he got a faraway look in his eyes for an instant there. Is the subject of marriage taboo for him, as I thought? Ha. I shouldn't be laughing at that, but somehow it's laughable to me. Well, leaving that aside, I'm very concerned about Akeno. Though, to Barakiel and Akeno, it may be none of my business. Azazel, you're unexpectedly a heated, or perhaps I should say meddlesome person. You also involved yourself in our training. At least I got to meet Taninn as a result. But the point still stands. I'm just an ordinary fallen angel with free time. Though, it was because of that I also raised a Sekiryuutei. That's not true. I think that he's just a nosy person. With me, with Akeno, and with Vali. He has poked his nose into each of our business. What a strange fallen angel. With him as the governor, I can't understand the whole aspects of his organization. Oh well, pros and cons. As if I'm better than him. In any case, I'm thinking of perhaps entrusting Akeno to you. Entrusting her to me? And that can only really mean two things, though considering the things he said earlier, I have an idea of what he may be implying. Possibly, if he's just talking about physical protection in raiding games and such, then that is easy. I was already planning that, but… You're an idiot, but you're not a bad guy. Rather, it would be better to call you a lovable idiot. Above all, you don't seem to have discrimination towards her. Ah. I responded darkly. I can feel an annoyed expression form on my face as my brows furrow upwards, intensely. Somehow, what he said irritated me more than I would have thought. I don't really care if he calls me an idiot, the insult wasn't really what bothered me, something about his next statement had to have ticked me off. I felt insulted. Boy, Azazel, what the hell's that supposed to mean, huh? You expected me to do such a thing? Whoa. Down boy. That's not what I meant. I was trying to compliment you, not insult you. It seems my attempt failed. I apologize. Though, I truly never expected you to react so negatively, let alone aggressively. Now can you stop releasing such an aura? I didn't realize you had that ability already. Calm down, my boy. Quell your anger. Taninn noticed my dark impression and said that to me. Awesome. Yeah, you're right. Ha. I let out a quiet sigh. I calmed down. I could see the subtle aura around my body slowly fade. It was red. I hadn't realized I was releasing it. I must have done it subconsciously. I still haven't fully grasped doing it on command just yet. It's hard to do it without being highly boosted, let alone without scale Malon. Azazel seemed to laugh. Ahahaha. Well, in the end, I can't help but be relieved. If you were really deceiving her, things would have already descended into carnage. If you do it poorly, it will have an effect on things from now on, and you'll also see blood. The type like you that takes form from winning the trust of those around you can feel at ease without resenting anyone. In some sense, that's a privilege, or rather a talent. That was a bit confusing. I kinda got that but didn't at the same time. Was Azazel trying to imply that he was threatening me? In any case, it's better to make him feel at ease. I understand. I'll protect Akeno-san. Of course, I'll also help my master, Butchu, and protect Asia too. I tried to say enthusiastically, even just saying her name makes me feel a bit lonely. Alright. Well, I'll entrust the matter of Akeno to you. More importantly, the problem is Kaneko. What's wrong with Kaneko-chan? Azazel let out a breath at my question. There's nothing that can be done about it. She's impatient, or rather, she feels doubt in her power. I suddenly remembered how Kaneko-chan didn't seem to be feeling well recently. Was something the matter with her? She was down when Azazel was mentioning her training regiment. I tried to express my confidence in her, but she responded harshly. Please do not say it as if it were that simple. She was in a good mood until those moments. That was the first sign, I guess. She overdid the training that I gave her. This morning, she collapsed. I was shocked at this bad news about me. Seriously, was Kaneko-chan alright? Fuck. Why didn't I help her? I saw that something was wrong, but I decided it wasn't my place, idiot. The issei that I want to be would have helped her. Asia can treat injuries, but she can't do anything about physical strength. Overworking in particular certainly hurts one's physical strength and has adverse effects. Because the time left until the game is limited, that's dangerous. Speaking of Asia, I need to eat her bento. Damn. To believe something so serious happened to Kaneko-chan. I should have done something. I grabbed the bento, opened the box and… the heart in the rice. Issei-san. Written right below it. Haha. She wasn't always good at Japanese, despite speaking it fluently due to her devil powers, but I can guess what she meant to write. Don't worry, I'll see you soon. Now then, we should go. Ice, I was told to take you back just this once. You'll return to the Gremory Annex only once. Taninn, he'll be going back for a little while. I'll return him tomorrow morning. Yeah, then I'll return to my territory for now. So said Azazel and Taninn. I can temporarily come down from the mountain. Wait, territory? What? No way. Asen gets to go back alone, that's not fair, damn it. What the hell? This isn't how it's supposed to be. I promised to return when Taninn would. Think about how the younglings will feel. Stop complaining, Ice. This isn't negotiable. I've promised to take you back. If you want to complain to someone, complain to your master and your friends. Although, I can't force you there. If you don't want to see Kaneko, that's fine. You putrid fuck. Badump. 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 I could feel my heart thump violently through me. The sound echoed in my head. I have to calm down, damn it, fuck shit, it's not even his fault. I can't help it. I have to calm down. I can't start hating Azazel. It's not right. Stomp stomp stomp. Something large walked its way over to me. I feel something touch the top of my head. It's Taninn's large palm. It's alright, my boy. I'm sure the younglings will understand. I will express well your will to return to them. They know the Sekiryuutei has responsibilities as well. Taninn calms me while ruffling my hair with his huge hand. Yeah, I suppose they'll understand. Though I don't expect them to feel any less down about it. I've never freaked out like that before, it felt so abrupt and uncalled for, it almost seemed unstable. Yeah, you're right. I need to return to see Kaneko. And everyone else. By the way, Azazel. Who exactly ordered my return? But you. From her mother. Ria's mother. Venelana Gremory. What business does she have with me at such a crucial time? Moreover, why the hell did you tell me to complain to my friends if it was her, you stupidly irresponsible governor? Oh well. Suppose I could eat Asia's bento along the way. BXD. Yes, turn there. That's no good. The sharpness isn't good. Come on, issei-san, do it from the beginning without acting stupefied. I was in the annex that was detached from the Gremory main residence. I was making an effort in dancing practice with Ria's mother in a room there. Why was I doing this kind of thing? As soon as I returned to the annex, I was led there by Ria's mother. Then, we started dancing practice just like that. Because I had never done something like this before, I was completely no good at it. This is harder than fighting Taninn. Ria's mother was wearing a dress, as usual. I was having a dance lesson while being glued to her. I sometimes came into contact with her breasts. They were wonderfully soft. How to say it, it had a matured feeling and elasticity and texture. I don't understand it that well, but that's how it felt. And her appearance was the same as Ria's. Was this the charm of a married woman? Truly frightening. She must be able to get anything out of her husband. However, this mother, she's seriously pretty. Because she looked about the same age as me, I was very conscious of her. Moreover, she had the same face as Ria's, which I still cannot tell if that's a bad thing or good thing. She was a flaxen-haired version of Ria's, the resemblance is almost creepy. Furthermore, her style was also exceptional, just like Ria's. Her breasts were big. Ria's breasts were hereditary. Thank you very much, mother. Your breasts genes were safely handed down to Ria's. Your contribution to the devil world is appreciated. Shall we take a short break? And so, having been given permission, I sat down right where I was with long, drawn-out breaths. I had been chased around by a dragon since this morning in my armor. My stamina was well, this is still far better than having fire shot at me by that monster Asen. At least physically it is, although, ironically enough, I was somehow enjoying it less. But still. I asked a question to Ria's mother. What is it? Why am I the only one doing this? And not Kiba or Gasper? Yes, why only me? Including the customary Gremory education as well, if it was to train me as a gentleman, even Kiba and Gasper should be. Though, I understood that I was the least like a gentleman. Ria's mother answered me. Kiba-Yudo-san has already mastered these sorts of techniques. As expected of a knight. Gasper-san is a member of a distinguished vampire family. He may behave unreliably, but he at least knows etiquette. The problem is issei-san. It can't be helped that you're a commoner from the human world, but even so it's troubling if you don't acquire etiquette beyond a certain level. Because you'll also have to make an appearance with Ria's in high society eventually. You have to remember customary practices even a little during your stay in the underworld. I was dumbfounded by the words of Ria's mother. Me in high society. But didn't I hear that servants couldn't show their faces to such an extent? Why would I wonder? But Urias-sama and I will be in high society together. I gave her the old dumb issei act to gauge her response. Ria's mother shifted her gaze to the side and covered her mouth with her hand. Oops, I carelessly let something slip out. That kind of thing is still talk of what may happen. Leaving that aside, calling her butchu like that will not do. This isn't school, so you have to properly call your master by her name. Not to mention, Ria's is oops, I nearly let something slip again. She says it's no good. Even if you say that, that's something I've always called her. Not to mention, that is what she asked me to address her as in the first plasm. How about Ria's-sama, then? Yes, like that. or you can call her master. Though, you have to call her differently in private as well. So Butchu is not good. Think. If you had to give an answer on that within yourself, do you hate that girl? What? Hell no. What kind of stupid question is that? What a horrible example. Somehow, it almost made me feel irritated. Well, it would be difficult for you to call her that all of a sudden, and Riaz would also be bewildered if you did that suddenly. For this home visit only, you may call her Butchu. However, you have to be certain of what to call her eventually. Now that she brings it up, what was the person in question, Riaz, doing right now? She might be in dire distress with poor physical health, like Kaneko-chan. Well, probably not. Azazel gave her a basic training regiment. I'm also a bit worried. I'd like to go see how Kaneko-chan is at least once as her important senpai, but if I go, I'm not sure if I would be able to do anything like last time. Can I ask you one question? What is it? What about Kaneko-chan? Is Kaneko-chan okay? Yes. It was just ordinary overworking, so she should recover slowly if she rests her body for 1 or 2 days. I'm very worried about Kaneko-chan, since she's been acting strangely since before we came here. That girl is doing her best to face her own existence and power right now. It's a difficult problem. However, she won't be able to advance forward if she doesn't find the answer herself. Her existence and power. I was full of questions. What was in Kaneko-chan? Before I started trying to, think more. I never really thought twice about a lot of things, but thanks to having to strategize and spend time around dragons who are very well spoken, I had to pick up a few things. Taninn also educated me about a lot of mythological things with the other younglings. Of course, all the younglings assumed that I already knew everything and was just trying to be nice by learning along with the little kids. I'm so ashamed. Now that I think of it, you haven't been part of Ria's group for long. Yes, it's natural that you don't know. I'll tell you a little. Ria's mother sat down while facing me and began to tell a certain story. It was a story of 2 cat sisters. The cat sisters were always together when they played, when they ate, when they slept. With their parents dead, they had no home to return to and no one to rely on. The 2 cats struggled to live day to day while depending on each other. One day, the 2 of them were picked up by a certain devil. The older sister became a part of his group, and so the younger sister was also able to live with them. Having finally obtained a decent life, the 2 of them believed that they could pass time very happily. However, something unusual happened. It appeared that the elder cat sister achieved rapid growth after gaining power. Ria's mother said that her hidden talent suddenly began to overflow by becoming a reincarnated devil. That cat was of a species that naturally excels in. Furthermore, she bloomed in magic talent as well, and even invoked what was said only the last of the Senin could use. It seemed that the elder cat sister, having surpassed her master in a short time, was swallowed by power and was transformed into a wicked existence that only sought blood in battle. With her increase in power not stopping, the elder cat sister killed the devil that was her master in the end and degenerated into an exiled devil. Moreover, she changed into one of the most dangerous among the exiled devils. One that completely annihilated all the pursuit squads. It was said that the devils temporarily cancelled all pursuit of the elder cat sister. The younger cat sister remained behind. The devils questioned her as a liability there. This cat may also eventually run out of control. It's better to deal with her now. So, they said. It was Sekiryuutei who saved that cat that was planned to be disposed of. Sekiryuutei persuaded the high-class devils that the younger cat sister was innocent. As a result, the situation was settled by having Sekiryuutei watch over her. However, having been betrayed by her elder sister, that she believed in and tortured by the other devils, the little cat sister's spirit appeared to be on the brink of collapse. What a sad story. Sekiryuutei left the younger cat sister that had lost her smile and the will to live in the care of Riaz. After the younger cat sister met Riaz, she recovered her emotions little by little. And then, Riaz gave that cat a name. Kaneko. I was at a loss for words after hearing this much. So, the story just now was Kaneko-chan. Wait, then, Kaneko-chan's true form is. She was originally a yokai. You know of the Nekomata, right? Cat yokai. She is a survivor of the strongest species among the cat yokai, and Nekashu. They are a high-level yokai species who can not only master, but as well. The devil that surpassed their master. Taninn told me at the rate I was progressing, I would very soon surpass Riaz if I haven't already, that is. The devil that was devoured by their own power. Looks like I'm on my way too. So then am I any different? The XD. But you. Ice. Having moved to the main residence after the completion of my dancing practice, I was welcomed by Riaz Odo. I was hugged all of a sudden. Riaz was tightly hugging me. It's been a while since I've had this feeling, though only a few days have passed. I had forgotten Ria's smell and probably the other girls. Ice's smell. I've been sweating a lot. It's fine. Your smell is still the same. I was lonely, you know. You say that with such moist eyes. Oi, what about Akeno? My Asia. Zenobia. Were they too busy? There are plenty of people around here, you know. I haven't been able to sleep with you since arriving here, and I wasn't able to feel you like this every day either. Since, I can no longer imagine a life without you. What a pitiful master I am. Has your level of dependence on me risen? I'm pretty blessed that I am your servant. I also can't imagine a life without Ria's either. I wouldn't want to stop being friends with her or be someone else's servant definitely. Unless it was awesome, could you imagine? However, a little endurance is needed. First, we have to both be strong. Ice, do your best in your mountain seclusion with Taninn. Blow away his breath of fire. As I thought, but you doesn't compromise when it comes to training. A good trait, I suppose. Or at least now I appreciate it. Not long ago I would have definitely started crying from hearing those words. Thanks to Taninn, it's different now. Wait, but I already unlocked balance breaker though. Ow. My ears. I see you've already unlocked it. I don't know what to say. I've never been so proud of you. Ria says this while getting uncomfortably close to me. I mean, she is very beautiful and she already took my first kiss. I'm not sure what I have left to lose except that. I need that. It belongs to Asia. I mustn't be defiled before our wedding. Ugh, I think I caught Asia's Christianity. Good thing we're allies with heaven now. Yeah, it was surprising. But fortunately I got it fortunately. Speaking of which. How's Kaneko-chan doing? I started to instinctively back up until Ria's got super close and I cut her off from doing whatever she was planning to do. Wow, she must have some stuff built up in her somewhere. And she wants to release it on me. Her face, which was inches from mine by the way, loses its former wanting look and now changes to a seriously complicated look. Follow me. BXD. The room that I entered, according to Ria's, was Kaneko-chan's room. Ria's had finished talking with her already and Akeno-san was already inside, so only I was told to enter. So I went to meet Kaneko-chan by myself. Her room was wide. It was a wide room when I turned my feet towards the bedroom. Akeno-san was standing by the bed and Kaneko-chan was lying down on that bed. I was surprised to see what had sprung up on Kaneko-chan's head. Cat ears. So she really was a cat yaokai, known as a nekomata. But, what to do? A Kaneko-chan who has cat ears. So lovely, so incredibly adorable. Since she usually hides them, did she also lose the strength needed to hide them when she ran out of physical strength? No, it isn't the time for that now. I've come to see Kaneko-chan's condition. Ice-kun, this is. Because of my reaction to Kaneko-chan's cat ears, Akeno-san tried to explain the reason. No, I've already heard the general story. I responded with this to Akeno-san. Just like that, I moved to the side of the bed and examined Kaneko-chan's condition. I didn't catch sight of any especially bad injuries. Well, if it was just injuries, it would be no problem with Asia here. So she really did come here because she exhausted all her physical strength. Hey, is your body okay? I asked that with a smile. Then, Kaneko-chan muttered with half-opened eyes. What did you come here for? The sullen tone of voice, far more than the extent up until now. She was angry that I came, huh? Would it be no good if I said it was because I was worried? Still acting sullen, Kaneko-chan didn't respond. I continued. Kaneko-chan, I heard about it, about all the various things. In any case, overworking yourself is no good. If you don't take care of your body though, I have no right to talk while I'm receiving hellish training. I want to. Kaneko-chan muttered something very quietly, and since I failed to hear it clearly, I asked again. Hey? What is it? Then, Kaneko-chan looked straight at me and spoke in a clear tone, while holding tears in her eyes. I want to become strong. Like Udo-senpai, Zenobia-senpai, Akeno-san and also I-senpai, I want to make my spirit and body strong. Jaya-kun is also becoming strong. I don't have a healing power like Asia-senpai either. At this rate, I'll become useless. Even though I'm a rook, I'm the weakest. I hate being useless. Useless? The Haidu issei that I am currently is useless. So you were worrying about that. Certainly, Kiba has also become stronger. Zenobia is strong too. Akeno-san is the strongest piece, queen, and Gasper can stop time. Asia may be no good at fighting, but her healing ability was great, and then there was me. Even though I myself was weak, I hold a legendary dragon in my body. And now I have scale mail. Kaneko-chan continued to talk even as she shed large tears. But, I don't want to use the power sleeping inside me, my Nekomata power. If I use it, I just like my Ni-sama. I don't want that. I absolutely don't want such a thing. For the first time, I saw Kaneko-chan crying like this. Since she was a kid that hadn't directly shown much of her feelings up until now, seeing that was a shock to me. Kaneko-chan's 1E-san had her power run out of control and killed her devil master. And then she had just left like that. Ria's mother had said that this girl had seen all of that. Because she knew that a dangerous power that could just kill her master was sleeping inside her too, she was afraid. But even so, when thinking of the situations in the coming future, she wanted power. This girl had carried these conflicting feelings even when coming to the underworld. So she overworked herself because she tried to become stronger without using the power sleeping inside her. Kaneko-chan possessed a warm heart with strong feelings for her friends. So she was vexed that she herself was useless. I think it was hard for her, not being able to repair Rias who saved her. I was also mortified at my lack of ability and uselessness to Rias, Drake, everyone else in Asia, and I wished for power as well. Bakeno shook her head and tried to speak to me. But I cut her off. Ice-kun, please. You know, I unlocked scale mail. They look at me with shock. Weren't expecting that, huh? Kaneko-chan asks me. Senpai has a balance breaker. I nod at her while smiling sweetly. She looks back down. Her sullen attitude has returned. She must feel even worse now, but I'll fix that soon. Do you know what was going through my head when I was trying to unlock it? She shakes her head without lifting it. I was desperate. I was so afraid to fail everyone. Afraid to let the mistakes of my past repeat themselves. So I worthlessly pushed myself past my own limits and constantly failed at any attempts to grow beyond basic training. I just ran around trying not to die. But Senpai succeeded. Senpai unlocked it because he was not afraid of the balance breaker. Yes, but I was afraid of failure, just as you are. That is what motivates you now, isn't it? The fear of failure. Yes, but Senpai is stronger than me. You were able to rid of your fear and succeed. Haha. Who the hell said I got rid of my fear? No way. I'm still scared shitless of failure. As if. Kaneko-chan lifts her head just a bit. Senpai is strong and he will become stronger. Why? Balance breaker may cause me to go crazy and kill all of you too, you know. Bakeno-san whips her head towards me dubiously. Kaneko-chan flinched. Let me explain. Do you remember when Volley and I were fighting and he suddenly started to speak an odd chant while his armor started to shimmer? She nods her head. Bakeno-san is listening intently. That was Volley planning to use a sealed power. A power created specifically for the purpose of eliminating other more powerful beings. Created from the well of madness that is left behind from past possessors. A melody of forgotten spirits. Most usually, the rival of the host is the target. However, this power comes at the greatest price. The user's sanity and life force. And this power is completely open to access once a host unlocks the balance breaker. Bakeno-san's face shows a deep concern. Kaneko-chan's cat ears also flick a couple times and her body stiffens. This power is known as the Juggernaut Drive. And from every day after unlocking the balance breaker and the more powerful I become, the risk of activation only increases. Day by day. And considering my rapid growth during training, my risk is very high. The last bit was a bit of a fib. Growing in strength doesn't necessarily increase the risk of activating the drive. It's practically all about control. If I don't activate it myself, whether consciously or subconsciously, it won't activate, according to Drake. In other words, no one can ever physically force me into it. But if it serves to help her, I can twist the truth just a little bit. Relating to both Akeno-san and Kaneko-chan is essential right now. Otherwise they won't let me in. Now, Kaneko-chan, I want to ask you something. When was it ever established that you were guaranteed to lose your mind when using your power? Eh? I'm asking you, when was there ever a being who came to you in your subconscious and told you that if you were to use this power, you would absolutely, without a doubt, lose your mind and hurt your friends? That is. Was it those worthless old shits that had convinced you of that? I can see Kaneko-chan physically react to my statement. She grips her bed sheets tighter. You think those old fucks have any right to tell you who you are? Who will you become? What defines you? Your past is what defines you. Don't make me laugh. In that case, I am a worthless, useless, incompetent devil who can't save a single person. And the Sekiryuutei's power is wasted on me. But Senpai is not useless. Senpai is pervert, but he is kind and brave. So are you. Kaneko-chan is also kind, strong, beautiful, and loyal. You were always a much better devil and servant than me. All of you. I never hated or disliked you, even with the countless beatings. I would only hate myself for making you hate me. And there's no way that learning of your past or your heritage is gonna change that. I will never hate you. And I will never fear you. Because I know the last thing Kaneko-chan would want to do is hurt her friends. That's why I believe you'll be fine. I trust you with my life. Even if you were to betray me, I would not curse you. But I damn well know you're not going to be doing that because I know Kaneko-chan is stronger than that. So whenever you're training, I want you to remember something. Desperation is not motivation. Instead of thinking things like I don't want to fail, think want to succeed. That may not seem like a lot, but trust me when I say, it makes a world of difference. And don't ever convince yourself that you are guaranteed to lose your way because of your power. Juggernaut Drive is a guaranteed death in under 30 minutes for me, and I would surely destroy all of you. Your power is not like that. Maybe it isn't what you should fear. The possibility of a yes is what should drive you. You will succeed. I know it. Though I said all of that to motivate her, I couldn't help but feel like I was talking to myself at certain parts. And yet you won't take your own advice, I bet. Kaneko-chan simply looks at me softly. I give her a sweet smile. This isn't going to fully heal her, I know that. But it'll at least get her thinking. Thank you, Ice-kun. That's enough. Leave the rest to us. Bakeno-san finally steps in. You're a kind person. But it's also important to sometimes keep your distance just a little. Besides, you yourself have to become stronger, we shouldn't get in your way. And I also, since I'm the same as Kaneko-chan, we have to overcome this together. If one can't accept all of oneself and can't understand it, one can't move forward. Kaneko-chan and I understand this in our heads. But our courage is just slightly not enough yet. Please wait just a little longer. Kaneko-chan and I will definitely get through this. Definitely. If one can't accept all of oneself and can't understand it, one cannot move forward, huh? What cruel irony. I know. Bakeno-san also displayed hatred towards the fallen angel blood sleeping inside her. But if she didn't accept that power of light, she may not be able to play an active role in the tough games from beyond this point. I see, the two of them are similar in that regard. Denying the power that sleeps inside them, because those two have done that. Alright then, I guess I'll get out of your hair. I begin to walk out, but stop at the doorway. But just so you know, there was never once a time when I didn't believe in the both of you, and I still haven't stopped looking up to you. I leave the room. We each have our respective battles. We each have our respective training sessions. We each have our respective walls that we must surpass. Though I have taken the jump off the cliff that was stopping me from reaching balance breaker somewhere deep inside, I can't help but feel that I obtained balance breaker within that chasm, and I still have not climbed out. After I slept soundly that day, I returned to the mountain the following morning. And I didn't get to see my Asia. Thanks for watching this video. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow the Theesmalingmisk for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.